Get a pen and paper. A pen and paper, because I'm going to bombard you with information. First, and this is essential, make sure you know how big your room is going to be before you get to Japan. If there is no information on the university's website, then try and find posts or videos online that show the room. If you can't find that, then either try and look for students that have been to that university before, so maybe look on LinkedIn, or message the university directly and ask them about the size of the room. The key thing is you don't want to overpack and then have no space to fit everything you've brought, or, and this is the most important thing, you won't have enough space to fit the new stuff you're going to buy. Generally, Japanese medicine tends to be weaker than Western medicine, so I strongly suggest you pack painkillers and cold medicine. Sort out your phone before you go. You don't want to arrive in Japan and have to figure that out on the spot. You can do that online now, you're looking that way. I use Sakura Mobile because they have a discount for students, so just do your research and sort out your phone before you go. Flights to Japan generally take forever if you're flying from outside of Asia. And when you arrive, you're probably going to be exhausted. And believe me when I tell you that you don't want to have to deal with changing transports and, figuring your way around the city you're going to be in. And believe me, you will also be way too nervous. I highly recommend that you book a taxi. It doesn't have to be a personal taxi. You can get like a minibus type of thing, but it's going to take you directly from the airport to your accommodation. I strongly recommend you make that initial investment, because why? Just why would you make your life harder than it already is? Your other option is to book a luggage collection. So if you're traveling with a big suitcase and a small suitcase or a backpack or whatever, put the stuff you're going to need for a day or two in that backpack or small suitcase, and then send off your large suitcase with the Japanese luggage collection service, because that thing is a gift from God. You can just drop your annoying suitcase at a specific location, the airport, and then someone's going to collect it and then they're going to deliver it to your accommodation. I repeat, don't make your life harder than it already is. Do some initial research into public transport, but then ask a local about the best travel options in your city. And by that, I don't mean asking a random stranger on the street, but either someone in uni or in your accommodation. You can buy household stuff like utensils, pots and pans and plates and bed sheets and linen and whatever, all of that stuff from the dollar stores. However, I highly recommend, if you're going to be staying in Japan for more than a year, you go a little bit more upmarket, and I would recommend Nitori or Muji. For stationery, the dollar stores are a gold mine, and if you're more into the minimalistic style, then I once again recommend Muji. Amazon is the best online store in Japan, and I take no criticism. If you want to buy tech like laptops, or if you have to, as it was my case, because I spilled water over my laptop. Shut up, I don't want to talk about it. Just know that it will probably come with a bunch of Japanese programs that you're going to have to uninstall. Also, for some reason, even after reinstalling Windows, even after updating to Windows 11, my laptop is still in 3 languages. Clothes shopping is tricky unless you have a small body size. I think that's something that we all have heard about at this point. Now, unfortunately, I can't really offer any assistance on that side. If you're looking for something that's both affordable and good quality, then I highly recommend Uniqlo. Thankfully, there are air conditioners everywhere in Japan, but because they're on all the time, wherever you go, they can cause dry eyes, dry throat, body pain. So just keep that in mind and be careful with the way you dress, and how much you expose yourself to air conditioners at home.
クーラーがついているという快適な空間からものすごいスピードで夏が本気出してくるみたいな。
So even though they are unavoidable at uni or at your workplace or just in the public space, if you have an air conditioner in your room, and you most probably will have that, don't overdo it. Japan has soft water. If you don't know, soft water does miracles for your skincare and for your hair. I personally struggle with the hard water here in the UK because I grew up with soft water in Bulgaria, and then once I went to Japan and I had soft water again, my whole being was just in heaven. Your skin will probably do better, your hair will probably do better, and I would recommend investing in good skincare and good hair care because you're going to get double the effect. Heat packs, all the magic of heat packs. Oh, the light really is changing. Anyway, if you don't know what that is, heat packs are your best friend if you're studying in a place that gets very cold. You basically open the package, peel them off, put them on your body, not directly on your body. Make sure there's like a layer of clothes between your skin and the heat pack because you don't want to get burned. And then in its mysterious ways, it's going to start heating up and it will keep you warm for 8 to 12 hours. When I went to Hokkaido for the snow festivals, I had heat packs here, on my back, on my belly, in my pockets, everywhere. And even though it was minus 17, I wasn't cold. Mystery. And then, if my heat packs were still working when I went back to the accommodation, I would just put them under the blankets. So when I go to bed, it will be nice and warm. I mean, come on! Come on! And this is also really important. Don't do administrative stuff alone. If your uni won't help you, then find either a student or someone from your accommodation that will help you. Don't make your life harder than it already is. Prepare a lot of cash. Japan, unfortunately, has not reached the stage where you can just use your card wherever you go, especially if you have an international card, especially if you're opening up a bank account as a foreigner, specifically as a foreign student. You need cash. You need to learn how to handle cash, how to budget when you have cash, because it is different. It will take you time to get used to having cash with you and not overspend. Keep that in mind. Also, if you want to withdraw money from an international bank account, then your safest bet is 7-Eleven and possibly the post office. Check what's different between your electric outlets and voltage back at home and what it is in Japan, because chances are they will be different. Chances are you'll have to get a transformer because voltage in Japan I think is about 120. And I also recommend just double checking at what voltage your electronics operate. You don't want things exploding. There was something else. What was it?
6 hours later.
It was important. What was it?
Eventually.
On the topic of buying stuff, before you go out and you start buying stuff for your kitchen or your room or whatever, see if at your accommodation there's stuff that has been left behind. Either talk to students who have been there for longer, so they knew the people that left, or talk to the accommodation staff. At my uni, they actually set out tables on each floor. Was it on each floor? Maybe it was on 2 floors. I don't remember. But they set out tables that just had a pile of stuff that was left behind. And there were hair dryers, umbrellas, bags, pillows, all sorts of stuff. So if that is an option for you, that is the cheapest way to get the essential stuff you'll need. And also, if you have a shared kitchen, which is what you will most probably have, check if all of the cutlery there, all of the plates and whatever, they're for everyone to use. Again, that was the way it was at my accommodation. So if that's the case, you don't really need to buy anything for the kitchen unless you really want to have your own. And the same thing applies to textbooks. A lot of students ditch their textbooks in Japan, mainly because textbooks are heavy, and I don't know a lot of people who are that motivated and they would like to ship them all back home when they leave. Although, to be fair, I did transfer 1 or 2. How many did I transfer? 1. Okay, yeah, I did bring one back with me, but it's not a textbook, generally speaking. It's a grammar book. Wait, I'll show you. This is the only textbook I brought back from Japan, and I do use it. I really do. I highly recommend it. It's specifically for grammar, so good purchase. Oh, and I did bring back all of my law notes and materials we used, but that's just because I have mental issues. I have probably forgotten to mention some stuff, so if you need any advice or if you have any advice for people who are going to Japan, just drop them down in the comments so we can help each other out, and I will respond as well. And yes, I tried to keep this video as brief as possible, straight to the point, so you can go into your year abroad or just study exchange or whatever you're going to be doing in Japan more confident. And yes, you've got this. And finally, if you want to know more about my experience studying in Japan, then click somewhere around here. And if you want to know about the drama of me leaving my first university, then click somewhere around here. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.